Roach, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. It's been a little bit.
Exactly. Max, you know what? You haven't been on her since I got this, but check this out. Roach did a commercial for Call RC.
Cow RC is your one-stop shop for all things RC car maintenance, carrying everything you need to keep your cars looking good and working well. From the basic chassis cleaner that doesn't dry out your plastics, to jet air blasters, no need to carry large and loud air compressors, to simple wipes to keep both your hands and bodies clean. That's just the surface though. Everything needed to keep your cars working smoothly and optimally while staying organized, like silicone spray, light grease coating, silicone bench mats, and the almighty Utter Butter are also staples of Cow RC's large selection of products. Be sure to use code NNRC to save 10% off your next purchase from cowrc.com.
Hey, Roach,
Wow.
you have a career in voiceover.
Oh yeah, that was fucking great. It felt like I was on what you call the shopping channels. What you call it? Like twins.com, you know?
Well, I have some family who do some not necessarily voice acting, but just acting in general.
Okay. You know who else has a great voiceover voice? Sean Hensing. You know Sean.
Sean Hensing?
Yeah, the Marco guy. You know him. He's always with Richard and Teddy at the races. You know Sean. He's got a purple and green car. I probably recognize him. He also was a very fast tire marshal. Very fast tire marshal guy. He's always been in process for tire marshal. Sean. Anyway, he has a very great voiceover voice. Anyway, enough about voiceovers. Let's drop that intro. We got a lot to talk about. It's the world, baby.
Nitro is the glory, but e-buggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this grabbing racing.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right. You know? See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
There we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no! I like this.
Yes, indeed. Nitro's the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. Not this past weekend, though. What's going on, everybody? This is show number 295. This is our big 2024 Worlds preview show. It's so great. Max even has his handlebar mustaches freshly waxed for us with some mustache wax, looking all sharp and crisp.
Damn it, I just trimmed mine too. Damn.
I mean, he's even got handlebars.
He's got handlebars too.
Yes.
Like,
check you out, Max. Check
You
you
know,
out.
they don't call me the professor of your mouth for no reason.
I just saw what you put down the bottom. We're
I
definitely
wasn't
getting
pointing
close to
out,
the world.
but-
There's going to be a lot of your mom jokes at the Worlds. I can
Yeah.
see this happening. So, yeah, show 295, 5 away from 300. This is all about the world, some RC news. We do have our good friend Roach RC joining us this weekend. Thank you, Roach, for joining us. Max is here. I know. I said that JQ would be here, but in typical JQ fashion, he canceled last minute. Like, hey, so last week everything we're going to go on Wednesday. Like yesterday, I'm like, hey, JQ, so good to go Wednesday. I will be in Estonia testing. Okay. So
how unfortunate. I was looking forward to talking to him.
I wasn't. I think you guys would have communicated telepathically, like, like you guys would
You're
have
the
looked at
final
each other.
step in human evolution.
I could just see like a moment where me and Keenan would sort of leave the show, and you'd have Kate and JQ, just two, and they would just be like humming and looking at the wall,
We speak in code.
and then like they
Binary.
would still be like, yeah, it's we understood. That was the show. Thank you guys, and then that would be it. So I don't know if I'm like maybe an aliens would land, capture both of these guys, then they'll. I don't know. I don't want to even see what could happen because it could be world ending.
It could be. It'll be lots of silence. My cadence was well off of JQ last podcast. All right, let's get crack-a-lackin'. I want to say a big thank you to all of you guys out there, the NNRC squad. We look forward to bringing the show, of course, and all the content that we're going to be doing at the Worlds next weekend. And a big shout out, we can't do without you guys support the NNRC squad around the world. A big shout out to our patrons and YouTube members. You guys go to extra mile, support the podcast financially. We greatly appreciate that. Also check out Roach's Patreon as well. And a big shout out to the companies that support this podcast. We have written in the written description of this podcast, we have links, we have affiliate links, we have coupon codes, you can save some money, and just links to these companies. Let them know that you heard about them on the No Name RC podcast. They are Invisible Speed, High Tech RC, Corsa Tech USA, Sidewinder Fuel, Mayako, Beach RC, Techno RC, Clinic RC, Stacked RC, Racecraft USA, Elite RC Productions. Shout out to RC Box Club, Call RC, as well as House of RC 36 Mood, and of course our drivers David Runafalk, Robert Battier, Alexander Hagberg, Matty G, Pekko Ivanen, Una Hotnen, and Mason Fuller. Max, before we go on any further, I'm excited because I've been excited about this podcast for a couple of days, and I was talking to you guys on how pumped up I am. But you know what? I gotta get pumped right up. So here's my mug. Oops.
Why did your camera go out?
Because my switcher's right there. And then get shit done coffee. I'm running out. This is my second to last one, but I'm going to use it up for today's podcast. You know what? You can go to House. Yes. House of the Hustle.
I need some of that.
Yes. You know what? You probably do. But guess what? If you go, there's a link in the written description of this. You can save 50% off your order or one of the products. Yeah, like I think you order something 50% off the next product. Like if you order 2 products.
Okay.
If you order two cups of get shit done coffee. All right, everybody, couple of shout outs. We do have quite a few birthdays here. Let me get crack-a-lackin' on that. We're gonna run through them real quick. We have not done this for a few weeks. A big shout out to Bryson Dyer. Happy birthday to you, good friend. John Kate. Homer Allman, the original shit stirrer from the starting grid, and the man behind the tilt yard who was doing 3D tracks way before 3D tracks were a thing. Larry Comercier, Igor Gonzaga, Rick Sheely, happy birthday. Jonathan Davis from Bermuda. Ryan Millington, haven't seen him racing for a long time. Kevin Scroff, Steve Woodyard, William Kirk, Bob Schultz, Marshall LaCourte, Brent Burns. I don't think he's in RC no more. Stephen Best, a big shout out to him. Shay Brand, Daniel Blakelock, Lyndon Hammer, Craig Gatto, Gene Steichlather, McCoy Starkey. Wow, lots of birthdays. Federico Rossi, Peter Van Tonder, Will McIver, your good friend, Roach, Doug Ludwig, Nathan Rawls, Nestor Cutini, Chris Pieri. Yeah, lots of birthdays out there. Happy birthday to all those guys. And you are completely out of focus, Roach. Don't go out of focus no more. We got to focus. Happy birthday to all those guys. And a special shout out to some of our friends of the show. Check out my buddy, Lorenzo, his YouTube channel. He's doing some cool things. And check out Dirty Asset Engine Services as well for all your engine needs as I take a swig of coffee. All right. So let's get crack-a-lackin' right into this our catch-up and everything real quick. I don't have much to talk about with my catch-up because I haven't been really doing much, but that's brought to you by Invisible Speed. We'll be doing some stuff with Invisible Speed on our midday shows at the Worlds.
Stop scrolling. You want to be Lewis Hamilton? Learn something new with Invisible Speed. You can't do everything at 100% maximum speed. You have to be smooth. I mean, when you drive a real car, if you drive a real car, how do you just, when you get to a 90-degree corner to turn into the parking lot, do you go like that with the steering wheel? Do you like slam on the throttle and the brake? No, you probably turn the wheel smooth and get on the throttle smooth. Same thing with an RC car. If you want to learn more and make your speed visible, stop scrolling.
That's right. Stop scrolling, JQ. Had high hopes for JQ at the 40 plus Euros this weekend. High hopes for him. And as usual, when you have high hopes with JQ, they're dashed against the rocks of reality.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I didn't really follow. I just heard that he didn't do well.
I heard that he made it into, he won the B main, but they don't do bumps there, do they?
No. He made it to the A.
He made it to the A.
Yeah, he won his semi. He started like 4th. He was definitely slower than those guys that were ahead of him. On the first lap, I guess we're going to talk about that. Let's wait. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about that. Real quick, what have you been up to, Max and Roach? Max, you've been working in the shit factory.
I have been working at the shit factory. We've been making a lot of shit, and we have been delivering a lot of shit. And it has been interesting. We had an audit at work, Big man came, say, hey, are you guys being safe out here? We said, yeah. Guy went away. And then we could breathe again. That's been sort of my life. But also, on top of that, in terms of RC, I have become a double Finnish vice champion. Can you believe that? Going into the last race, I was leading both.
Congratulations. Such an achievement.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not.
Well, let me finish. So I was leading both championships going into the last race. I kind of absolutely sucked at the last race, partly because I sucked as a driver, but also partly because I kind of wanted to try something new that I had not tried before and thought, hey, this can't go wrong. Well, it did. And then I sucked in qualifiers, and then in the mains, I sucked again. So I couldn't make up my positions that much. So yeah, then ended up becoming a vice champion, double vice champion.
If you're just listening in the actual podcast, Lefty is laughing his ass off in the background.
Yeah. I'm laughing at this guy. I tried something and it didn't work, so I sucked. You won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, no, but I actually Finnish championship ended. I don't know if people know this, but I kind of also organized the series because there ain't many people who are active in RC in Finland, so have to do what you got to do to keep things running. And we improved the number of people driving the series. Things are looking on the up. Longest series in the recent history, 5 races. So I'm actually quite pleased. Definitely my last year running 2 classes. So next year, probably only going to run Nitro. Too busy, like what? 50, 60 entries and then 2 classes? No way you can do that. It's just
nothing happened.
Did JQ come to any of the rounds?
Huh?
Did JQ come to any of the rounds?
He was at the last round to wrench for Pekko. Pekko was absolutely sucking as well. But then JQ came and he ended up winning, actually. So he did well.
JQ did something good.
Yeah, he saved his ass, definitely. But yeah, Joona and Pekko was battling for the whole year. So yeah, it's interesting. Like I actually, I've told about this before, but I kind of have given up on trying to win all the time or whatever.
You can't compete with those young guys. Let's just admit.
Yeah,
it.
That's
You're
the thing.
done.
Like, yeah, it's
you got a girlfriend. You got shit factory work. You got school work. You got podcast shit. You're a media guy now. You're not a racer no more. I could have told you that like 3 years ago.
I know, but it takes a time to be like you're on the track. You see like Pekko or Joona in front of you. You can match him on one lap.
Reflection.
Yeah. I mean, it's self-reflection, but it's like
it takes
when
time,
you're on the driver's stand and you see, okay, that's Pekka in front of you, and you're kind of like, what the fuck? Why can't I keep up with him? Like, you have to like adjust your brain to say, okay, just like you have to accept this. You ain't
You're
young
just
no
like
more.
fucking JQ. You're just like JQ. You're getting so much just like JQ. First, you're late. Then you always leave things to the last minute. Now you're going through like you're trying to do some self-healing, realizing that you're not going to be fast. I could have told you that 3 years ago. Your flash like 2019 was your last flasher.
I think the thing is, I could be fast if I did.
No. See, you're acting just like JQ. You're acting just like JQ. Now you're gonna talk yourself into being fast again, only to go to the race and then be let on like a balloon. Not like a balloon where you let the girl.
Okay. The thing is, I don't put the effort in. I don't have the time, and I put the effort in. So, just like JQ, I bet if he was still racing, he would be battling with Jonan Beck.
He would be a 40+ champion right now if he was still.
Oh yeah, he would. But what he does, rides motorbikes, does therapy sessions online, talking about.
He does do that, yeah.
Yeah, talking about what comes into his mind, and then once in a while post something dumb on Facebook. He should be off of Facebook, by the way. Why is he still on? He's like, I see invisible speed momentum.
Instagram sure.
Well, Facebook is like Instagram for old people. So
yeah. But yeah, I think now with Worlds being this is my first race, I'd say probably ever, where I go to the race for the whole time of the race and don't race there.
Didn't you do the Euros there or something where you didn't race at all?
Oh yeah, I went to pit for Ronnefolk.
That's right.
Yeah, but that was World's warm up last year.
Completely different.
So actually, that was one of those races. So actually, it's like my first time even. But this is kind of my first time where I know I'm going, have planned things, and I'm going there to do something else. Tried to avoid this moment for a long time, Thought I was going to become an RC pro when I was a kid. Today ain't happening, Man's going to do everything else.
Just like JQ's hopes of 40+ glory.
Yeah.
Your thoughts of being a fast driver have been dashed upon the rocks of reality by waves of immense force.
But, okay, I have to still put it this way. We're
gonna have to watermelon seed.
No. I beat Pekka in the championship. He was third. Okay.
He probably missed some races.
He missed one race, but
exactly.
But we have one drop off. Okay, so he just high key.
He could have won that dropout. I'm just saying.
No. He's a weak track. I've always beaten him there.
All right, Roach, what have you been up to? Making videos, pissing people off on the internet and YouTube world.
Yeah, you did a rant, dude. What the hell?
That's not very on brand for me. But I did it as a therapy session for me because I've always had these I've always had these like opinions and stuff like that, and but I never really broadcasted them. So I just figured get everything out now before it bottles up to a point in which it becomes more problematic.
Yeah, man's gonna go postal because he thinks the
social is B7. Jesus, Roach, it's just head scale, par.
I don't like the B7.
It's just stock racing, Roach.
Specifically the R1 B7.
Roach is gonna go postal over stock racing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have been up to.
I didn't watch it. So what's wrong with the?
I watched half of it. I watched half of it. What is that flashing light? Like your light flashing on you?
Me?
Okay, it's all right now.
Maybe the exposure on the camera, but basically, what I said about the B7 is that the B6 was a very beginner-friendly buggy that anyone could pick up and use and build. The B7 is not that, and that's basically what it boils down to. Because there are some issues that the B7 has that a lot of people have had, specifically the transmission gear stripping. I've seen a lot of people will say the chassis bend. That's kind of on like a really bad crash. But the main thing that a lot of people have is the A and D block, or not beans. Yeah, C and D blocks breaking under like really bad, like just hitting them wrong. Which is why a lot of companies made them or made replacement parts for them. Same thing. You're muted. You're muted, Lefty.
I'm telling Max to go watch the video.
But yeah, like then I went into the R1 B7. Is like, why would you bother making the B7 something it's not when you can buy literally any other buggy on the market that has a 3-gear transmission and save yourself $164?
Because you can buy yourself to win with an associated that's American built, American
in Taiwan. Then just buy a TLR. Or literally any other buggy.
Triggered by the B7.
It makes me vehemently upset.
Vehemently. Yes, I like that word. I vehemently did nothing. I released the Joe Johnson podcast that seems to be pretty popular, but I recorded it maybe 5 months ago. No, maybe in June, April.
Yeah, all that info is outdated, man.
Yeah, all the information in that 5 months that Joe Johnson, I didn't release that, has been outdated. It was fun. I'm glad people enjoyed it. All right, on this podcast, we are going to be talking about the IFMAR 1/8 scale IC Off-Road Championships or Nitro Buggy World Championships being held September 8th to 14th at RC Radafon, Alicante, Spain. Myself and my esteemed colleague, Maximus Mortimus, will be on site. And I actually want to say a big thank you to the people that made that happen. Obviously, first off, a big shout out to all of the NNRC squad. Without you guys, none of this is possible. But just through meeting people and doing things over the years, things happen for you. I want to say a big thank you to Latera Racing for their support. They are a title sponsor for the for the NNRC content at the Worlds. I met both of those two guys at the Worlds 2 years ago. And we became friends. We gave them lifts back and forth to and from the hotel, to the hotel, from the hotel to the track. And they always said they would love to do something with the podcast someday. Latera Racing is a hobby shop in Sweden. I think they're a distributor of Coyote Electronics. I know they do X-Ray. I don't know if they do Mayako anymore, but they did Mayako. And just cool guys. So thank you for them, for their support. Also coming on as a gold sponsor is High Tech RC. Thank you to Sue, Mike, and everybody there at High Tech for their continued support. And Zach Donovan at Donovan RC for his support. Zach and I become good friends as well. And then coming on at our silver sponsors, we have Ultimate Racing. That was done. I talked to Roger at Model X, who is the importer. Well, the people behind the Ultimate Racing product. They came on, as well as FlySky. A big shout out to Calvin over there at FlySky. These, sent me one of the Pro Pluses, which I ended up selling to my buddy Raymond Goginski, which was sponsor money. And then our bronze sponsors were Techno. Techno has been a big supporter of the podcast for many, many years, since the beginning. Thank you to them and Matt. Also, a big shout out to Elite RC Productions. We'll be doing all our written content. Will be going on our Facebook, and then you will be able to find it on the Elite RC Productions website. So you have all the content right there in one spot. As well as my friend Tiny Folsom at Truth Motorsports for coming on as well. We greatly appreciate it. Tiny's avid racer. Like, he has the racing bug badly. He is everywhere racing. He's got a mobile hobby shop, I think. He's out of Virginia. And of course, shout out to Carl RC, shout out to Heath. And Heath doesn't really do a lot of sponsorships and all that type of stuff. So he made a special occasion for us. And we greatly appreciate these company supports. And because of them, we're able to go to the World Championships. We're able to bring you guys the content you deserve. We will be co-oping and working with RC Racing TV. We will have a midday show that will go on their YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, their Facebook channel. And I'll be doing commentating with them. Max will be busy doing things in the pits, written reports. It's going to be a busy week. We're having fun. We're staying with Salty Joe. He's our chauffeur. He's going to help out as well. I can't fucking wait. That's all I know. I can't wait. I'm super happy to go, and I'm looking forward to it. So I wish Cade was going. He would love to come to Worlds and see what this is about. I think the Balders are going to put on a great show, and we're going to have some good racing.
Speaking of which, why don't we talk about it?
Well, we have a few things that we have to do before we talk about it. Because we have a few things that we haven't done. We have the Donovan RC Whip It Wednesday that we have to pick a winner at some point. Now I have the videos up on Facebook. I already know who I think has won this because he has the best whip. But I don't know if he deserves. If he's like a semi, he's like a pro, but he has the best whip. It was Tyler Jones.
Tyler Jones.
It was Tyler Jones, and I almost.
Well, let's look at them.
All right, let's have a look. But before we do that, let's talk about this race because it is the AZ Oktoberfest 24 coming up October 18th to the 20th in Maricopa, Arizona at the beautiful Nitro Compound. Talk about big tracks. This is probably one of the biggest tracks in America, if not the world. They will have the novice class short course. They have short course trucks, sportsman, nitro buggy, e-buggy, nitro buggy, open, pro, 40 plus as well. And they are having a TZO spec tire buggy class, which I like. Media coverage will be brought to you by Mod Live Media. MG23 RC Racing is the title sponsor. I know that Heckert, FCJ, Mayfield, probably Rivkin, all these guys are already confirmed to come to this race. Remember, it's happening October 18th to 20th in Maricopa, Arizona, out there in the desert with Tony Schumacher and AJ Schumacher. All right, so we have to pick a winner for the Whip It Wednesday competition that we held. This is from July. Or June. I'm lying. I am a lying tamer. It is from July. June. Sorry. So, are you guys mocking me?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So, this is. This is actually Philippa Pim's car from Sweden. It's just from Sweden, right? It's pretty amazing that we have people from all over the world watching our stuff. All right. So, these are not going to be the best quality. So here's Tyler Jones. He's got the best whip out of all these guys. Can we see it?
Yes, you can't pre-fetch like that. He has a whip, okay? Right, and here's the jury.
Let's look at the whip first, and then we'll
exactly.
Decide.
Yeah.
Or not.
Oh well,
something happened. Hold on, I will fix it. Give me a second. Too many Facebooks open. All right, Tyler Jones. Oh, come on. What's going on here? Something happened to the video.
It is loading. You have been jobbed.
Great radio, bro.
Something's going on. All right, here we go.
Bob Trimmin?
Oh, no, this is Bob Trim. He didn't really whip it. Is this Epic? Yeah, that's Epic. Which is actually closing.
And that's like well, he's kind of whipping it. Yeah.
He whips it at the end. Good save. He goes nose high, off to the side, but not really the whip that we're looking for. Not enough whip action. More nose high, saving it. Little
you
whip.
You
gotta be sideways and then save it, basically.
Yes, I would have to.
And I do like it being more of a directed landing. Here it kind of was.
All right, so.
But I mean that was still cool. Okay, it looked cool.
But check this out. Tyler Jones. Whoop.
All right.
See what I mean?
I have to say, okay. Here's my official opinion. So, approach to jump is good. I'd give it probably like an 8. Real good acceleration. Actually was fast. Didn't actually scrub speed. That run of a berm.
That's
maybe a 9. Okay,
right
the run of a berm was good. Okay, but I have to say, once the car goes in the air and the way he kind of overcooks it a bit. Okay, so here you have the car, and when you bring it back, you're gonna have the car sort of it's not sort of directed to the track. You have it all the way the wrong way. So I have to deduct. So it looks a little discombobulated at that.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Max. I think
one thing I will say is I can't see the actual track where it landed, so I don't know
exactly
if it was 100%.
So I'm gonna give the setup 9. The actual whip in the air probably an 8.
And then
the ending of the whip. Not that good. But let's see this one.
This is a close second. This is Logan Toa, and he's in news.
Yeah, a little bit nose high on the landing. I have to say that's a minus. you know, on the face of the jump, kind of kept the wheels pointed to the left for too long. So you have to get the whip going as soon as the car takes off, preferably even a bit before. You want to kind of scrub the jump a bit. That's going to deduct some points.
He's
That
from New
being
Zealand,
said,
by the way.
maybe that's why I said the wrong way around. But
Because he's upside down.
he's upside down. That being said, the whip itself in the air, I do like this much more. The car sort of flows nicer in the air. The whip is more natural feeling.
But this is Logan again. Now
we got
this
a
one,
carpet whip. If he had honestly,
is,
if he'd gotten the landing perfect, that would have been my choice right there. Because carpet whips are a lot harder to do than you think.
Yeah. All of these kind of have the issue, in my opinion, that the whip goes into the direction of where the car is going. You kind of want to have the opposite. So you want to start the whip so the car goes in the opposite direction of where you're going. I think that puts the car in a more appealing angle for the whips. Let's see a few more.
There's Bryson Dyer. This is actually not bad, but not enough whip action for me. It was too cold, but landing was great.
I mean, it's optimal, but it's not stylish.
Yeah, I'd say this is sort of in terms of technique, it's like a 9. Landing is a bit nose high. You want to land on the nose down.
Bruh.
But
out here.
But I have to say, you know, the flashiness of this is definitely lacking. You know, definitely I'd say mid on the flashiness. But he was cooking on the technique.
Here's Paul Thacker. So interesting story about Thacker. He used to be a professional snowmobiler, racer or freestyler, not sure. He had an accident, I believe, and now he's in a wheelchair. And he's doing he still does snowmobile, but he does RC. This is, I think he was at the this is at the dirt, obviously, but
okay,
I like it, but still not enough whipping.
Also, honestly, this one, could you go back real quick?
Yep, I'm gonna. There we go.
Because it looks like, okay, so if I can control it, it'd be great. If you start at the very beginning, he like starts in the wrong direction, right? Then he starts to whip it in the other direction, and then it's actually optimal where he lands, like in how he lands.
Yeah, I think here. Okay, pause it here. Keep it right here. Oh, well, you went too far, but that kind of angle where the car is going to the direction of where you're whipping, and the nose is a bit down. That's kind of the optimal way you want to have the car traveling through the air. You do want to have a bit more, you know, sideways angle right there. But this one, obviously, the issue kind of is that he had to whip the 2 different directions. It kind of just looks like a wobble. So, you know, looks kind of like an accident more than a technique. Basically.
I like
you
it.
have no chill. Let's look at Matt Angus one. Matt Angus actually looks pretty good. But okay, so this looks like it's
okay, this is how you fucking do a whip. This is how you do a whip. Okay, Keenan. It's not flashy. The car doesn't go upside down in the air. You don't have anything special. But you have the whip going in the direction of the turn. The car goes and it rotates back and lands, you know, a bit with tilted.
So you want to give it to Matt Castle? You think his whip's better than
technique-wise? It's definitely like definitely a 9. Flashiness maybe a bit lacking. Okay. Flashiness is mid, not as mid as the one before, but he's really cooking here with the whole angle thing. Okay.
Yes, and
I have to say,
on throttle as soon as he hits the jump face. As the jump landing, looks like he's on throttle right away.
Yeah.
Still can't see it.
I think,
but
you know,
we imagine that he's on throttle.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have more, or do we have?
Yeah, but they're not as good as this. We're gonna wrap this up. So who is gonna win?
Okay. It's this or Tyler Jones. Okay, that's my opinion here.
All right, we're gonna leave it in the hands of the viewers. Let us know.
So let's play both again, and then in the YouTube comments, get to choose this time. So YouTube comments, Keenan will make a comment who won the whip race and then comment under that and say Jones or what was the other guy?
Matt.
Matt.
There's Matt.
Tyler or Matt. Okay.
There's Matt. We'll play him one more time.
You know, this is just sheer beautiful. Okay. It's not flashy. It's a smooth operation, you know. You tilt the car.
Tyler Jones. Still the winner for me though. Ooh.
That's the issue. So the angle is unnatural. There's no way he did a fast landing.
I think you're wrong.
Car doesn't land naturally.
I think you're wrong.
Like this point is where
it's all about, for me, it's all about style, honestly.
Yes.
But the flashiness?
The flashiness is also very important.
I think flashiness is important, but I do think, you know, I still appreciate the smoothness, the sort of, you know, like you can't argue that the guy with a suit, you know, he's classy, you know, he knows what he's doing. But a guy, like, sometimes rock stars are cool, okay? But a lot of these guys, they overdose on heroin, you know? So it's like, which one you pick?
You know what? Hey, in the YouTube comments, who do you like, Tyler Jones or Matt's picture? Those are the two pictures. You know what? Let us know, and we'll pick a winner. They will get a NNRC customized charge lead. If you guys would like to get some DRC gear, use promo code Nitrous to Glory. You'll save 10% of that. All right, up next is the Course Attack USA. Ooh, are we going to go into the high-tech news? Because we do have, you have the, okay, let's talk about real quick, because this was a lot of people talking about this at Mugen Challenge. Let's get into some real quick high-tech RC news. This is brought to you by High-Tech RC, who just released their AD380 battery discharger and analyzer, capable of discharging high-capacity batteries up to 40 amps and 380 watts. High-Tech's new AD380 is a user-friendly battery discharger analyzer that caters to both novice and experienced RC enthusiasts alike. The AD380 features 3 discharging modes, which helps analyze the health and performance of your RC battery packs. It's perfect for racers and aerobatic pilots wanting to monitor cell resistance and maximize power output. Also, it uses the Bluetooth technology, which I really have come to use a lot in my RDX 200, sorry. And you can connect it up with the Link Power X app. And the price for this is $149.99. Check it out, the AD380 high-tech battery discharger and analyzer. All right, Max. So we're going to leave the world's reveal to, we start on that. At the Mugen Challenge, I believe we're talking about this, right? The Mugen Challenge, there was, well, I know you're freaking out. All right, Max. All right, Max, go ahead. I forgot, aerodynamics is involved here. Let me stare blankly like I'm paying attention.
I'm going to run the program called Smile and Nod.
Go ahead, Max. Waiting for you to take the lead here.
Oh, I have to take the, okay. Well,
it's your news.
Okay.
So these were seen at the Mugen Challenge, which happened 2 weekends ago, correct, Max?
Yeah, so this was spotted at Mugen Challenge. We have brand new body shell from J Concept. I believe this to be called the P15 or P2. I don't know. I'd say it's a P15. What do you think, Roach?
I think that's a very large cabin.
Well, yeah, that was one of the things. You know, you gotta be able to hide the body somewhere. The thing here is, I explained a whole bunch of shit on the post, which you can go read at NNRC podcast. The gist of it is, they have angled the spoilers here. So these little spoilers, they're angled, but they're angled inwards, okay? Different from what previously we've been having. Most likely less air, you know, spilling out, but there's a chance that you have a little bit of overpressurization on the inside of here. Okay, not a big deal in terms of handling, most likely. Then what Kate said, big cab. a huge one, to be honest. Most likely, it's gonna drive a bit more aggressively, front dominantly compared to the S15. The front dominance kind of because the cap is so big, so you have sort of a big area of pressure on the front side of the body shell, and then the aggressiveness because of the sharp edges of the cap. Yeah. So you have sort of the lips here. That's going to make it not as forgiving. It's going to handle a bit differently when you drive straight or when you're on the going into corner and steering. Now I have to check what I actually wrote here. Oh yeah, baby shark. Fin.
And just like that, this podcast is now copyright claimed.
Yeah. And then the front leading edge. Okay, yeah. Okay, I actually wrote some good stuff here. So one thing I want to point out is the leading edge of the front. Instead of going all the way down here, like the S15, it has one like this. So what this ends up doing is instead of the air going on top of the body shell, it kind of tries to go around here. That's going to put some drag on the here. Can't really say if it will actually affect the downforce, if the air actually will be better here and add downforce, or if it's just a minor difference. It's hard to say. I'd argue you'd like to have it lower here, but then, this whole chamfer design probably isn't the optimal one for you. And then the baby shark fin in the back. I think this is just cute. It's
you think that's just for rigidity?
I think that's so that it looks like it's a P series body. Like the 10 scale P2.
Oh yeah, right. Because they all have
but then
that.
you have the engine right here, so you can't make one here. Because if you make one, then you don't have enough coolant.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably why they did this baby fin. And then what did I say about the... Yeah, I said nothing about the tires. They look black and brown like Pirelli's, but let's take a look, because on the post I didn't really explain it. It's kind of...
These look like like a sort of a, what's this called? A response to the Lux tire from AKA.
Yeah. It's kind of like someone even said that it looks like the Lux. So you have a thread here, kind of a high thread, to be honest. So more like the AKA chain link, it had a high thread, kind of like that. But then you also have these pins. So it's kind of like reminds me of a chain link, but you have pins, so it reminds you of the Lux, but it's still completely different. I don't know if the sharp edges, the sort of narrow thread with this sort of hollowed out section is good.
Do you think they were testing these for the actual Worlds to run in their new compound?
To be honest, I can't really believe they would have. Like, to me, it doesn't really make sense, because for the past 2 years now, 2022, 2023, the best tires have been pretty much exclusively, the Hot Race Sahara, and to some extent the Sismic. Can't remember now what they ran last year, the Kilich brothers, or actually Borak ran Sismic. But from other manufacturers, it was similar type thread tire like Dirt Webs. So my guess is they are gonna run Ellipses, or they are gonna run Dirt Web 2s. But the tire wear is really high there, so it could be a case where they imagine this type of tire would have lower wear, and then by that, it would still have enough grip to be good for the main. But I can't really believe in the fact that this would be fastest tire out there for the world. So it's a bit of interesting release right before the Worlds. I'd imagine this is just for like a response to the Lux tire kind of thing. But I could be totally wrong. It's really hard to say from just looking at a tire how it will handle. Because it could be that it's actually really low. Yeah.
We don't know. Cool stuff. I bet you we see it. That's going to be your job, right, Max? Finding out.
Yeah, I'll be. And actually, the tires are called double bars apparently. Yeah, there was a really smart comment here. It's no matter what boring Keenan said, your insights are always interesting and appreciated. You know, he gives me permission to talk over him as long as I want. Wow.
Your biggest fan, Hunter King.
Even the stock racing hero commented in here, you know? And people even got my jokes, you know? It's like, that made me so happy. Thanks, guys. Yes,
Max feels some great positive reinforcement now. See how it feels? Yeah. JQ Jr. All right, guys. Let's get crack-a-lacking right on Course Attack USA race reports brought to you by Course Attack USA. It's your one-stop shop for all things Course Attack in the United States of America. You can now purchase all the ranges from electric and nitro-powered vehicles used by world and European champion Robert Battier. Course Attack was established in 2022 by founder Adrian Bertin and Oscar Jansen. All of this built by racers for racers, all available in the USA. You can find a link for it for Course Attack USA in the written description below. Max, we have the BRC 10 scale EP Nationals, which took place at Boughton Raceway, Norfolk, United Kingdom, August 17th to 18th. Tommy Hall wins everything. I think he already wrapped up a two-wheel or four-wheel drive championship.
Yeah, he wrapped up four-wheel drive at round 4 of 6.
What? I forgot that Roach is an average European race follower too. That's always good to have.
Yeah, and then he wrapped up
specifically British.
He won two drive at this last time. So Tommy Hall is.
I think it's the best 10 scale racing they have is in Britain.
Yeah,
EFRA 10 scale electric powered touring car Euros held August 23rd to 25th in Belgium. Reinhardt, Coelho, Hagberg, dude. It was raining during qualifying. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You said your post-race talking points was Arlovski's win streak was cut after making costly mistakes. Reinhardt back on top. I think it was 13 years after his last European championship in that class. And Coyote gets their first European title, as well as FlySky. So, you know what we forgot to talk about? Juan Carlos Canes going to FlySky.
Oh yeah, that is. I remember that was in the news section of NNRC Discord, which you should look in the description below. Anyway, but yeah, that's a weird. Why?
Why what? Oh, with Juan Carlos Canes? Yes. Very smart move on the part of FlySky. Spain is a very big market, and he's Spanish speaking. Might be a world champion.
That's true. Why not? But I guess my only worry is like, would he have to just get used? Is he just good enough to get used to it immediately?
Well, I was told about it a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. That's the first thing I said, and apparently he's been using it. He doesn't worry about it.
What did he run at the Euros? Because to me, yeah,
I don't know.
Wait, no, he didn't run Sanoa?
I don't know what he ran at.
He ran Sanoa before, but he could have ran FlySky at the year. If he ran FlySky at the years, then I don't think there's an issue. But
let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. European Championship, Touring Car Championships, qualifying in the rain, man. Them I have to give the owner guys credit. That's pretty badass. I like that.
It was cool.
Probably
did they run waterproof electronics? I'm guessing.
I assume. Dude, it was like pouring rain.
Yeah, I saw footage of it. It was like it was actual like.
Okay, let me bring it up.
Water rooster tails coming off the back of the bodies.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up 46 RC from Mugen Challenge. All right, congratulations to Reinhardt getting the win. Hagberg third. I messaged him and said, "Dude, congratulations!" It's like I'm happy with that third. Now I'm taking a vacation.
Hagberg is like the craziest character ever because it always feels like, oh, he's not really like as fast as Coelho or whoever, is the top guy at the moment, like Orlowski or Coelho. But he's probably has one of the most podiums of any of these on-road guys, and from such a long time too. So
You
I
always
gotta
hear
give
his
it to
name.
Hector.
He's always in the conversation.
Yeah, he's always there. Yeah, especially at these big events. Like sometimes at ETS he struggles, but always at Euros, always at Worlds, he's there. So,
do you have the video of them up in the rain yet? Before we go on to the Mugen Challenge,
I'm looking.
All right, well, let's move on to the Mugen Challenge. Held August 23rd, 25th. Big race, huge race. This race has turned out to be huge. Held at LCRC. Lutz. Ooh, Lutz kicked that. Okay, so let's be truthful. It wasn't a big pro class competition wise. I mean, I think it was Wiggins. Mayfield was there. Heck, might have been there. A couple of fast Northeast guys, but it wasn't really that many top guys there. But Mayfield was there. Wiggins is there. Both of those guys have been running hot. And Lutz gets a win in Truggy, as well as Nitro Buggy, and not just a win. He beat him. I haven't watched it, but I was told he beat him hands down. Mayfield and Chase Lemieux doing some more 8-scale racing, so that's good. I think that's going to show that X-Ray are putting their eggs in a basket with Chase, 10-scale and 8-scale, in my opinion.
Didn't he finish? I didn't actually put the electric off-road carpet nets on there, but didn't he podium there too?
Probably, and he was
he TQ'd a few rounds, but he didn't TQ overall.
Yeah, but I mean, he podiumed at the race.
He's been doing a lot of racing. He was at the ENats this past weekend.
Yeah,
and we're not going to talk about the ENats too much today. We're going to save that for when we get back from the world. So we're going to have a good podcast. We'll rant about ENats and talk about that later.
Yeah, but I want to say that about Mugen Challenge, because I had put that on the notes, that I mean, if I was Mayfield and I kind of was having a strong year, Raw National Champion, like all these race wins, beating Fenn straight up at PMB, so on, and then I go to Mugen Challenge and I get beat up by Lutz, okay, I would be like, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
Lutz hasn't been slow, though. Lutz has not been slow. He finished second at Wicked Weekend.
I've said this before. Well, I think the last time I was here, when you remember that it was a large e-buggy race in Washington where Lutz beat
Motorama.
Yeah. He beat Mayfield.
Northeast, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Motorama. He did. Well, he just straight up won there. And
Lutz won Mayfield.
I tell you that Lutz is not my dark horse, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but that's what I kind of wanted to say, or like put into the minds of people, that was this kind of like a Mayfield taking an L, or was this kind of Lutz making the speed visible? Like, because he's been getting closer, he's been getting more consistent, but actually straight up beating Mayfield just before World. So Mayfield should be informed. There shouldn't be any sort of questions like, oh, Mayfield's haven't practiced. No, I mean, he should be informed right before the Worlds. So
I have to agree with you, Max. I have to agree with you on that.
I think it's also, like I said before, I don't think Mayfield is the boogeyman he used to be. Not in the same way.
That's kind of what I'm asking. Like, Mayfield could have had a weekend off, that's completely normal, completely acceptable, whatever. Sometimes you just can't make it that day, whatever it is. Maybe AKA was good tire on this track. Who knows? Okay. But still, it's either there's a doubt in Mayfield's program, or Lutz is just freaking fast at the moment. And we have to kind of like actually put him in the talk of who is going to be the best American at the Worlds. Is he going to be, Mayfield or Fenn, most likely, but could Lutz be in the discussion? Who knows?
You know what? We're going to talk about that right after we get done here. But this is the 8-scale Nitro Buggy A final, just red pitting Mayfield at LCRC. Coverage was done by Toby Hampson, who's been on the podcast, friend of the podcast. 46RC. His streaming is getting a lot better. I know he races as well. And there's Lutz right behind Mayfield. Man, I'll tell you, I happen to actually, for once, 100% probably agree with what Max is going to say about Lutz coming up here shortly. So it's going to be a miracle. All right, guys. Congratulations to Ryan Lutz for taking the win. Very impressive, very good form going into the World Championships. We also had the 40 plus EFRA World Championships, EFRA European Championships go on this past week. I did talk about this on my Tuesday live. I had high hopes of JQ. I don't even know who won it. What's his name again, Max? The gentleman who won it?
40 plus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that
I know that JQ did it.
Was second. And then
Degassi got second.
Who was third?
Which was good.
Also was third, but I can't remember now who won.
Oh, Martin something.
Let me see. Because the thing is, I kind of recognized him, but no idea what's his name.
Let's see.
Did you watch any of this, Cade?
I watched like a solid 20 seconds of it, I'll be honest.
Honestly, this is the race that caught my attention all weekend. To be fair. I guess because JQ was in it, but I really liked the track. I'm bringing up the track now. Hold on, everybody. I really liked the track. It was very European. It was very different. I know it's not a track that JQ likes himself, but
when
JQ
you say
actually,
European, do you mean like in layout or in track surface?
Yeah, layout, track service, everything. You'll see. You'll see.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's very German.
That's even probably. I would agree with you there too, Max.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, a lot of these guys went to their warm up and they practiced. I know Degassi went there, and these guys and JQ just went there like to race. When I was watching this race and looking at like you know who did really good clips from this race was John Hazelwood and Mark Rumble with Nemo Racing TV. They did some cool clips. I would love to attend the 40 plus Euros and participate. I have no delusions of grandeur that I do well, but I just love to go to this race, participate, drink beer, and race RC cars.
Is that concrete?
That is pavers, dude. That's pavers, and that's oiled dirt. There is some concrete here. Did you see the berm?
Oh, that's this track? The one with the berm?
This
okay,
is the berm track.
That's the one okay. I saw clips of it,
Mayfield,
but I didn't think it was the
was
actual...
here like 10 years ago. He was practicing at this track. There's a video of him driving on this track.
I love the berm so much. I wish we had something like that here.
For some reason, this is not the only track in Germany with a berm like that. I know I know at least of two, and it might be that there's one more.
I love this track. I'm sorry. I love this track.
It's cool. It's really cool.
It's a very cool track.
But let's look at the berm.
Look
Bang.
at this.
Yeah, he's going.
I like it. This coverage brought to you by Race Cave. You can look them up on YouTube. And JQ Martin. What was his name? Hold on. Martin. Max, you're supposed to get this. He kicked ass. That's all I know. Fort Mueller. Yeah. He got out. He led from lights to flags. JQ made it all the way back up to third, then flamed out. On the second turn, someone took him out or something. He says, if JQ's always somebody takes him out. All right, Raw 1/8 scale electric off-road nationals. Yes, let's have a nationals 1 week before the World Championship. Unfortunately, did not get a big pro turnout. Was held at GSRC in Pennsylvania. Rivkin, Sontag, Setzer, and Truggy. Associated sent the full squad there. They wanted that. They sent the full squad there. In Buggy, it was Sontag, Horn, and Heckert. A big shout out to Rusty Mihalik as well. He won 40 plus, and Colton Furinari, who won junior.
Mm-hmm.
And we will do a rant later on. I did watch A3 of Truggy. It was pretty good. Heckert was going at Rivkin. It was a good race. We'll rant about this later. We ain't got time. We got to talk about the Worlds. It's much more important, much more positive to talk about the Worlds. and how we're going to fix e-buggy. And Roach is a e-buggy purist, so but I have him on as a hardcore racer. Anything else you guys want to add before we get into our Worlds coverage?
Well, it kind of has something to do with the Worlds, but I just wanted to congratulate a friend of mine, Ryan Daze, for making it.
Oh yeah, him, Josh Hollyfield again. And I have to say, Josh Hollyfield has too many OGO bags. 3 OGO bags, not needed. You only need 1. 1 OGO bag, 1 hard case Walmart bag. Must listen to Lefty's travel advice.
Yeah.
You're leaving. Just grab a military bag. It's fine.
Huh?
Just grab an army bag. It's fine. I have one right here.
No, not for international travel. Those OGOs weigh 15 pounds each. And when you international travel, you have 50 pounds. So you're already leaving 40 pounds. Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's get into the Worlds. We got to talk about this shit. Let's go. It's gonna be awesome. Techno RC, thank you for the support. We greatly appreciate it.
Techno RC. Techno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Techno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Techno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.technorc.com.
Thank you, Techno RC, for all their support. They will be in full effect at Redavon. Boys, it's finally her. We are now recording on the Wednesday. I'll be leaving Friday. Max will leave Saturday. Roach, unfortunately, you'll have to watch from the USA. But it's going to be fun. Max, you and I are good. I'm looking forward to it. As we record this, Redavon just released a picture videos of the track. Let's bring them up. I guess we should just go right into this talking about the track, right? Why we should just rip the band-aid right off this. And I'm glad we did wait to this weekend, today to do this, because we actually got to see the track, right? So this is hitting the interwebs. It's been a mixed reception by many. I have to say that I am happy with the changes, but there's still a lot here that is similar to the same. Beautiful track. So I guess we'll just go through. Roach, as a person that's never been to this track, what do you think of the layout? We'll keep it simple, then we'll get into it.
I'm still getting over the actual size of it, but for me, something that caught my attention was how many 180s there are. That's not something because I remember making a video about like the differences between American and European tracks, and one thing European tracks usually have are long sweepers. They're more circuit based. This feels a lot more motocross like, even though the track surface is probably a lot harder than that.
Okay, I would have to agree with that. Max, you next.
That was like kind of a good observation, but looking at this layout, it's not really different from what they usually have. Like if I think about this now, the amount of 180s I think is the same as was in the previous layout and the one before that.
Nope. I have the numbers here. Hold on. Go ahead, Max, but I have numbers here. Go ahead.
There's maybe one more in this one than the one before.
Than the previous layout, like at the Euros or the the previous Worlds?
The previous Worlds were same as Euros last year.
Okay.
And then they had 2 layouts before that, which had Euros once, and then no big races. Well, they had the Worlds warm-up on that layout.
So Max, 2022, 7 180 hairpins. 2024, 12.
Can't argue with that.
I don't see how that's possible.
I'm just telling you, that's what it is.
I mean,
I don't think that's who counted that.
1, 2. Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not sure where the 12th one is. I probably missed it, but yeah. Anyway, it has a lot of 180s. A lot of 180s. We know that.
Oh, but the previous one had the same amount.
I don't think so.
Previous
Mac.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I see
5, 6.
If you can,
7.
hang on, let me.
Oh, bring up a picture of the previous one if we have it. But I would just like to, while we're doing that, I will say this. So the biggest change, obviously, to this track is probably this middle section right here, coming through the middles part right here. I know this whole complete section right here, this downhill section, right along this one. This I knew they weren't going to touch this. They said they weren't going to do nothing. But this complete section right here is pretty much the same.
Yeah. Okay. Let's kind of now go into.
Yes.
This is the hamburger model. Looks really cool. Okay. Now it's the shitty stuff, and then we end on a good note. Okay.
You can see the elevation.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be the bad guy here and say it, but so you have the whole concrete section in the middle, and you have the corner before that. Well, you have that section, but you also have the other concrete section with the whoops. Before the whoops, that 180, that's the same as before. Maybe a tiny amount of difference, but same. Okay. Then the acceleration, the corner on the back left corner, that's the same. Jump, at least looks to be the same. 180 is the same. 180 after that, the same. So effectively, there is most likely up to 50% of the track is the same as the previous worlds. Okay. If you look at front straight, end of front straight, double, 180. At the back, yeah, the jumps are a bit different, but there's a lot of similarities. Okay.
Hold up, let me bring up the what's called the previous worlds track real quick.
Okay.
That's now out of the way.
There we go.
That's
2022.
Quite a bit of So let's look at this. So we start in the front straight. You have the double, you have the 180, okay, and that is same as was before. Then this section is different. So you go down. You have a 180, second 180, by the way. You go up to the back. You jump down from the back. You have 180. Then you go up. Whoops, 180. That's 4 180s. Then you go to the back. You have this sweeper corner. Jump, 180. Fifth, 186. Then you go to the drop down. So basically, from the back 180 to the 2 180s after the little jump, that's all same as before. Then you go from the sort of staircase section. This is different from what we have now. You go to this concrete section or paved section. You have 180. That's 7. Another 180, 8, and then you have 180 before the start, after the start finish line. So that's 9. So what was the other one? Other one was 10. This and 9. 11, this and 9. So there's 2
Okay,
more.
so it does have similar. My numbers were off. Whoever said that to me. All right, let's get back to this picture. So they have. I will say this: they have utilized a lot of parts of this track to make it different. So there's still parts of the track that are very like this jump up here, like the straightaway, this jump up here, and all this section, right up on the top right hand side up by pits where it goes right up to pits. All this is similar, is the same. It's just it went down her, you jumped on her, and went back up and around like that, right?
Exactly.
So all this is a new section. I think that all these 180s play into the hands of USA style tracks. In my honest opinion, I like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call this type of. It's like a really extended C, almost like I can't really. Maybe let's see if we can see it from another angle. So here's looking down. This is also where all the banquets and the Connaxes and all that stuff go. So actually coming back uphill here.
Yeah. So having driven on this track before, we had a similar section actually.
I remember this
in 2016, where you kind of climb all the way from the bottom to the top on one go, and it was like a chicane after chicane. And it even here, if you look at here, it's like okay, you have this sort of a C type, like as you described, like a C type section. Then you have like a hip jump. You have quite a sharp 90, another hip jump, sort of climb up. You go into this berm, and then you have a 180 there. Honestly, if we look at this, it's like how would I describe it? It's gonna be really difficult for all these drivers. So it's like having a flow on this type of section. It's incredibly difficult, and what makes it incredibly difficult is the fact that this goes up and down like.
There's a lot of elevation changes.
I'd say there's more than 10 feet of elevation during this, from starting with the bottom going to this berm.
Here you can see a little bit of it.
Yeah. And all of this time, the track's turning somewhere. And all of this time, the track is also going further and closer to you. So sort of seeing how the track goes is incredibly difficult. So that's going to be probably the trickiest section of the track, to be honest. Otherwise, the track looks quite simple. It's 180s, jumps with straight accelerations. One section that's going to be a little bit tricky, maybe, is going to be that sort of drop down and then climb up, and then you go to the back straight. So after the front straight, you have to double and then the 180 pair. When you drop down and then you try to climb back up, it's going to be many drivers who kind of pushing the edge here. And maybe losing time or flipping over or whatever will be the level of the grip. So that's going to be sort of another tricky section. Other than that, the track looks to me quite flowing, quite nice. And I do think this one, maybe there's easier to actually race other cars. I'd say that I'd actually argue that over the one before.
Compared to the 2022 version.
Yeah, this, to me, it looks definitely more sort of technical, but also as a driver, you kind of have more time. You're not always on power. You're not always like going somewhere. You actually have to put the car into a place and then go on power, which could actually hurt Ongaro if we go that deep into it. But, that's like silly predicting that at this stage. But yeah, I have to say it's a cool layout. It offers something that none of the ones previously have offered. And I think the flow of the track is significantly changed from before. So I don't think having an argument at all, they haven't changed it enough. No, I don't think that's valid, really, even though I said all those things that were the same. Because the flow is definitely completely different.
I feel like
go ahead, Roach. Sorry, I apologize.
Sorry. It's okay. I feel like like Max said, the flow is going to be a lot different. I also think the lap times are going to be a lot longer.
I agree. Yeah.
I think we're going to see lap times.
Yeah.
To be honest, if I did the track change, I would have actually perhaps taken out some sections of the track. So you could do something more of a drastic change. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say that I don't see a big drastic change that I was hoping for. And what I meant by that was like maybe that whole bottom section of the track being completely different. But I mean, they had a month to build it. They probably, I don't,
If they had like a month to build it on short notice, I'm not sure what else they could have done.
I mean, this section,
especially considering the kind of dirt that they're working with, it's probably very hard.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they had to get like a excavator with a hammer out there. So we're looking at the main final from 2022. I think a lot of these jumps, I mean, even if they just put more jumps in some of the areas or some, you know what? Until we see some cars go around there, it's very hard to tell, and we see how it's going to race. So we'll know once cars hit the track Sunday. So I congratulate them for doing it. Remember, they took this whole race on a whole short notice as it is. They were not supposed to have this. So, I think they did a good job of utilizing what they have in the track to make another track. They changed one section, they connected it, and they connected the dots to make a different section to make it more challenging. I look forward to it, and it's going to be interesting to see how what caliber drivers and which particular drivers adapt to this and find this easy. Will it favor the Americans? Will it favor the Europeans? We shall see, because it looks like a lot of the high speed flowing corners are gone. So, all right. I would like to talk about us.
Mayfield's happy.
Mayfield should be happy. Yes.
Yeah,
Mayfield should be happy.
Yes. Go ahead, Roach.
I was just going to say, I think just American drivers in general are going to be happy, because a lot of the American drivers going into this race are going with a better mindset than they did before.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I think they were defeated before they went.
Yeah, last time out, it was kind of like nobody was even expecting an American to win.
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying that they wouldn't even go because it's unfair, and all of this stuff. So this time, at least, I haven't heard any of that. So
right. I would like to say that I'm also seeing more American drivers getting ready for this race. And what I mean by that is we saw Mayfield and Wiggins going on to whatchamacallit, to Thornhill for a weekend of practice. We saw Mayfield, obviously, and Wiggins and those guys going to the Mugen Challenge, getting that last bit of race practice in. Drake's over in France with the Killix doing some testing, because they can win this. One of those Killix can win this. Estonia seems to be the place for the Europeans to go. Ronafalk's there. Joseph's been there. That track has gotten a boost because people see the facility and track and want to go there. The Infinity teams at the Ongaro ring practicing. Canas is ready in Spain. I'm sure it's practicing. That's what I like to see. I like to see people taking it serious. I like to see people getting into Worlds mode, because this fucking guy right here has been in Worlds mode since the start of the year.
Yeah, one thing actually I want to
go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out about the Infinity team was Naoto and Goki Kato flew from Japan to
Really?
Italy. Yeah.
Are they racing?
Yeah, they flew
from Japan last year, if I recall, in 2022.
Yeah. So Naoto and Goki Kato, because Japan had really strict travel
COVID regulations.
Yeah. So
you get to meet your hero, Max.
Yeah, I get to meet Naoto. I don't think I've ever seen him. I don't think so. Yeah. So Naoto and Goki Kato have been in Italy with Berton. They met up, I'd say probably last weekend already. And then they went at their beginning of this week, they went to Ongaro Ring. So the whole Infinity team is testing with Davide Ongaro at Ongaro Ring. I don't know if that means something. I don't know if he's just good friends with Berton. If Infinity just Ongaro Ring, who knows? But I mean, I do find it a bit of a weird thing that it's not Rivkin and Saxton and these guys who are in Italy, but it's actually
them to be there because they had ENats, but definitely Infinity there. I don't know. My now extinct silly season super spidey sense is starting to tingle, but I'll ignore that. Roach, as an American who's been racing in America, does it seem like the regular American is excited for this? It seems like it.
It definitely seems like it. I feel like there's a lot more positivity. Like you said before it was a lot more, it's just a European track. We're just going to get walloped. But I think this time there's a lot more positivity going into it than before. A lot more preparation and a lot more just hype in general.
How about from the public?
What do you mean?
Like just the people who are going to be like not going to this but watching it. I know that.
No, that's what I meant.
Like you have you're happy for Ryan Daze, and we see Cole who said I'm not done yet. I got one more Cole Ogden. I got one more Worlds left in me. I'm coming out. I'm coming out swinging. When it comes to the Worlds, I think it comes down to country, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, and then for America, it probably comes down to regions and who your favorite drivers is. So a lot of people in the South are going to be cheering on Josh Cole and whatnot. I assume. And it's a different animal, right? You know that guy's going out to represent your region or your track or
Your
something
state.
like that. You're gonna watch, your state, your country, and you're gonna watch that. And I think that's what makes the World Championships extra special, especially for the viewers, right? So I'm expecting this Worlds to be viewed by way more than what we saw in 2022. Just because I think it's at a bigger, better place now than it was even in 2022. Race.
I remember I actually looked at the what's called the live numbers for the 10 scale world back last year. It was like almost 10K, I believe, at one point.
Yeah.
And I think I'd be surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised if we break 20K this time.
I would not be surprised. I hope so. We'll be there, right, Max? We'll be doing our stuff. I can't wait. All right. So let's let's pay some bills real quick, because Beach RC has been an avid supporter. They are the main sponsor of the actual live stream that RC Racing TV is going to do. So I thought that was very good. Kudos to Brent. I know he's good. He's actually racing. So let's have a word from Beach RC, and let's get into some of these drivers who we think are going to be fast and all that good stuff.
BeachRC.com, the racer's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, S-Works, Pro Circuit Racing tires, Nitro Lux fuels, and Assault RC performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Thank you, Brent, and everybody at Beach RC for your continued support. We have an affiliate link in the written description of that this podcast. It helps us out. Maxi, we have the House of RC drivers. What are we calling this? The drivers. Let me just leave it at this. Drivers profile page here that they have just released. We see Ongaro there, Canas, Mayfield, Dakota Fend, all this good stuff. I don't know how we go on. Maybe I should let you control this, Max. I'm going to let you bring this up. We're going to get back on screen here. That's your baby. You're muted, good Maxi Poo. You're doing a left.
Let me bring this up. So we should be having it right here.
Yep.
All right. So we have, I'd say the top row. Arguably, this is one of these four will most likely win. Would you agree with that?
I'd say so. They're definitely. And actually, I'll let you go first, Lefty.
So I was trying to figure out how I was going to talk about this, right? And best way I could describe it is who I would not be surprised to win this race. Right?
Is this better?
That's probably better. But I have Juan Carlos Canas as the obvious favorite going into this race. I have him as the favorite. I think right now his package is good. Okay, he's going over to FlySky. Hopefully he's been doing some testing with that. Hopefully it's not going to cause too much issues for him, or it's going to be great at all. But right now, he goes into this world with the most confidence. He's a European champion. He's won in America. He has just been on fire. He's probably making some money right now. He wants it. He has zero pressure to win this. So I think he's the favorite. I think Ongaro goes in second favorite. Lots more pressure on him to three-peat. Lots more pressure to do well after not winning the Euros at his home track and everything that happened at the Euros. Think he could win it. Would not be surprised. Mayfield would not be surprised if he could win this. This is his second to last Worlds where he can probably do it, we assume. So would not be surprised if Ryan Mayfield does it. Would not be surprised if Dakota Fenn wins it. Will not be surprised if David Ronafog wins it. So those are my five guys who will not be surprised. And I will add on the cusp of that is Coelho. I will not be surprised if Coelho wins this. Now, people who I think can win this and will be slightly surprised will be Spencer Rifkin. Ryan Lutz now jumps up to that. He's one of my favorites to win this from a dark horse position. I have to throw in Elliott Boots into that mix as well. I'm going to throw in Berton, Rifkin, Killix. One of the Killix will do well. and I have Rose and Fuller. Now that varies in that list. Some of that goes from would be surprised, would just slightly be surprised, all the way to would be surprised. And I also can see this man doing well. Jared Wiggins doing pretty well at this race. We have to throw in other contenders like Polito, who will be fast. Maybe Barufalo will be on something here as well. The Shark has also been fast. Joao Figueiredo, very good. The Parente brothers as well. Lots of things to look at. Little Bump will be looking to do something here. The Baldo brothers were faster last time around. Tater Sontag, we can't forget about him. So it's lots of things going on. I wonder if McBride's actually going to come. That'd be interesting. But yeah, I think that Canas goes in her as the favorite. Zero pressure to do well here because he has time, but he can win this, I think, outright. Like he could dominate this race. But then again, so can Ungaro. All right, go ahead, Roach. We want your thoughts on this.
So, like you said, obviously, I think Canas has the best chance of winning. Like by far, he has everything he needs. There's no pressure on him, like most of the other drivers here. Because I feel like a lot of the drivers in the top 4, at the least, or top 5, have something to prove, and Canas doesn't. Because Ungaro's like, okay, I need to be able to win this to prove that I can do it, even though there's a lot of controversy around what happened at the Euros. Mayfield needs to prove it, saying, hey, I'm towards the twilight years of my career. I need to be able to prove that I can still win. Dakota Fend, I think, here's the way that I see it. Dakota Fend went into the 2022 Worlds with more support than he is going in now.
Really?
And he didn't win.
But he did very well.
He did very well, but he didn't win.
But you mean he had more support?
No. I meant. I'm sorry, less support.
Less support. Okay.
He had before he had Barry Baker.
But Barry did not. I don't think Barry went to the Worlds.
He didn't go to the Worlds, but he was still like part of his program. He still had that going for him. Did Tran go as well?
I believe Tran was at the Worlds. Yes.
He was at the Worlds? Okay. And now Tran is gone. So
but he does seem to have a good relationship with Dylan Nelson, who's his mechanic.
Okay. That's good then.
So they clicked very well at Wicked Weekend, I think.
That brings it a little bit pressure off of him. But even still, I think he has less going in now than he did before.
I think he has very little pressure to win this as well.
That is another thing going for him, yeah.
Your comments about Mayfield, I would want to reiterate that it's not that I don't think he needs one of these to complete his career. He's just probably running out of chances where he could win one of these. And because, he's getting up in age, even though we don't know how long he's going to be competitive.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I meant, but yeah.
I'm just wording it in a nicer way for you.
Yeah. I need to learn how to do that. Go down a little bit.
Go down, Maxi.
I could definitely see Elliott Boots doing well here as well. He has
you see him winning it?
I don't see him winning it. I see him doing well though.
Okay. I could see him winning it. I wouldn't bet on him.
If something not necessarily something goes wrong, if they're not at the top of their game or the top 4 not at the top of their game, I could say, or 100% at the top of their game, like 95% there, I could see LA Boots as 100% beating them. Okay. But I don't see him. I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't bet on him. Of course, Lutz. I think he's probably. This is going to sound weird. I think he's probably my favorite American to do well.
Okay.
Mostly because he has a lot of momentum coming off of a bunch of different races in America. And I know
but do you see him winning it?
I'm not so sure.
Not being in position.
I could definitely see him within striking distance, but I don't see him winning it either. Honestly, I think that Canas and Ongaro are such big players in this that a bunch of other drivers don't really
Does nobody have any? Go ahead.
I don't think they have the speed for it. At least not here.
What about Ronafalk? Like nobody's talking about him. I think Ronafalk could win this.
He's been. It seems weird, but I think he's been, or not I think, but it looked like he'd been struggling with the X-ray, unless he's figured something out.
But
he's struggling with balls. Yeah.
At these type of races, he seems to show up, right? I mean, he was in fucking 12th. Started 12th at the 2022 Worlds and gave us one of the best races. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. How about, while I have you here, how about some of these young guns that scrolled on, like to Brandon Rose, Mason Fuller? Very fast guys. We have Brandon Rose, who has a win under his belt this year at SIC. Mason Fuller still winning, looking for that big nitro buggy win. B-Rose has also probably been one of the most consistent drivers out there with constant top fives all year. What do you think their chances are against drivers now? They've both been to this track now. They've had some experience here.
I'd say between the two, I think Mason Fuller has a better shot just because he's better under pressure.
Okay.
Right. But B-Rose, like you said, is more consistent. So it's I don't know.
All right. Any Europeans? We'll get to you real quick, Max. I just want to finish with Roach and Grillim. What about some Europeans you think will be good here? I haven't heard you mention Coelho. I haven't heard you mention the Killick brothers.
I was just gonna get to the Killick brothers.
Okay.
So I think between the two, I think Borak is probably gonna do better. He's definitely has the speed for it, and he has the kind of one thing I remember, he has the kind of drive to do it. And I think, I remember talking with a couple people on the NNRC Discord, that one of the reasons why, a little bit unrelated, but one of the reasons why Borak or the MXB8 still runs the big 8 scale forest buggies because of Borak, because he needs the extra mileage. But just based on how he drives. But I think that's the way he drives will be good for this track.
Okay.
And I think the only other person that I want to mention is Phi Long, mostly because he has Lutz to guide him.
Okay. All right. I would not doubt that. You know who somebody else I'm going to throw in there too? I haven't talked about Robert. I think Robert can make the finals.
Go for it.
Johnny Skidmore as well.
He made the finals last time, didn't he?
Yep, he did. And I expect him to be in the semis this year. All right, Max, your turn. I know you've been chomping at the bit. Go ahead, Maxi.
Okay. I think there was quite a bit of good points there. I think it's hard to argue that going in, it'd be silly not to pick Ongaro or Konas. That being said, I kind of want to look at the Euros last year, and well, obviously this year as well, but last year especially, because I think they kind of showed at that stage, who was who. So Canas absolutely dominated. One of the most dominating performances at the Euros since Ronafalk in 2013. I think he TQ'd almost all 5 rounds. I think Ongaro got one. He won semi, one from start to finish at the Euros last year. This year, almost a similar story. But I still think, Euros last year kind of is more worth it going into the Worlds, considering it was at the same track. Now, Matrix at Radovan, they definitely didn't look good last year. They were on the back foot. They have had significant updates to their compound, so that could have flipped around for whoever and Cadence is now in JC, which we know in last year and at the Worlds in 2022 was fast but wore down really quick. So that has been their issue kind of all along, that they're fast but can wear down quite quickly. So I think that could be sort of the only way where we see someone else come into the picture, that Canas runs out of tires and Matrix doesn't work. But obviously, both brands have improved since. J Concepts have come out with new compounds, new threads. Matrix has significantly improved their tires since last year. Most likely, they haven't even been running that compound they run at the Euros for a while. So I don't really think that they are going to be at a disadvantage from that standpoint. That being said, we have one guy who finished second at the Euros last year, one DNC this year, almost won Buggyland, almost won quite a bit of races in Italy, and then also won quite a bit of races here and there. So Boots, he's on hot race tires this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the tire to be on in Redoban. It has been for a while now, and I do believe it will be for a while. So Boots has always done good at Redoban. He's won here before, won the Euros, finished second last year. Only driver to really even put a challenge to Canas at any point. In terms of like talking about the main, and he's on the arguably the best tire. And in form on top of that. So I think actually Boots could be kind of the one that we overlook. And he could actually put on a challenge. So I'd say Boots is going to be in your top 5 from start to finish.
I can't argue with that at all.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
I was not thinking about the tires, was I?
Yeah. The thing about 2022 Worlds was that Boots wasn't informed then. He was kind of on the looking almost like he's not going to have a drive, but he turned his career around late last year, being incredibly, incredibly good this year, barring some few events where arguably hot race hasn't been informed. And I'd say Boots is going to be one of those guys who will surprise people at this event. Because he's going to be there. I'm very certain of it. Now, the thing about the Americans is they're most likely going to be there at some point. Mayfield and Fenn will most likely going to be fighting for a TQ because the J Concept tires are fast. Now, my sort of why I'm a little bit hesitant on them is because we can't know that the tire advantage will be on them. The track sort of knowledge advantage definitely won't be on them. And the sort of way that the Europeans drive 60-minute without crashes as fast as you can go versus Americans who they're allowed to make a little bit of mistakes because the tracks are more difficult in America. They're used to not making mistakes. They're used to making mistakes, at least for Fend. Mayfield, maybe not so much, to be honest, but at least for Fend. So it's going to be difficult for these two. It always will be. But I think they have still a better shot than last time. But last time, they was barely, into top 5. I don't think Fend even made it in the top 5. Ronafog will most likely be there, but I think he's kind of okay. My guess is that he will be fighting with Fend and Mayfield for like 4th or 5th, because that's where he actually was at the Euros, but 3 out of the top 5 in front of him had to retire. Rivkin most likely not going to be a factor. It's unfortunate to say this because there was a time where he won.
That was harsh, Max. Harsh.
No, there was a time where he won 2 Raw Nationals for Associate. There was a time where it was SIC with the B 3.2, and he was actually putting on faster laps, catching Mayfield. And there hasn't been even a glimpse of like, hey, Rivkin is actually fast. Like Rivkin is actually good, but more than maybe a little bit.
He just broke.
Where?
Silver State. He was very fast. He broke.
Oh yeah, Silver State was okay. Okay, you're right. So one race in the last.
He's been fast in
2.5
other
years.
races.
He's
I
been
can't
fast in other
remember what-
races, but not as consistent.
Yeah, he's had DNFs and stuff like that go wrong.
Okay, but you can't have DNFs at the world.
No, you cannot. You cannot.
Yeah. So I think Rivkin will need to have something go his way, for it to work. And I think what he needs is a B3.2 back. And actually,
So what you're saying is he needs a Mugen.
Well, don't say it out loud, but what my spidey senses have, or the little birdies have told me, is we're gonna see the 3.2 car at the Worlds, on Rivkin's car at least, because that's what the associated team is running. So let's move on. Coelho and Lutz. I think these are the kind of polar opposites. Lutz is like a forever 8-scaler, kind of low profile guy, but still fast, whereas Bruno wins everything in every class everywhere. But I think these two will have the same form of surprise factor. I think Coelho will be sort of on the same level as Fend and Mayfield, a bit in front of them, and then Ronafog would be behind them, in going into the event. Now Lutz is he could be anywhere in that mix, but he could also be at the bottom of the final. But I do think his recent form puts him in the final. Fuller and Rose. Fuller is a big question mark because he does well sometimes, but my fear is that he just is not able to adapt to European tracks. And that will most likely be sort of his weak point. Rose could make it to the A, but I think, even that's a bit of a tough one. So Rose and Fuller most likely in the semis, but it's going to be tough for these two because they're very American specific in terms of their pace and so on. Kilic, I kind of want to wrap this up because there's so many drivers, but Kilic is one of those drivers who, if he turns up, which is possible, he can do what he did at the Euros. But Seismic has not been the best at this track. It has been okay, but it's not been the best. Whereas at the Euros, Seismic was the best tire, as was proven by X-Ray drivers actually going to Italy to get, going to France to get the tires. Yeah. So that's the thing with Burak. Him and Berkan was 6th and 7th for driving the whole main, pretty much 6th and 7th. And I do think he was barely missed the podium, crashed in the second to last corner at the Euros last year and finished 4th. But Kilic brothers are going to be interesting, but they will need their tires to work for them to be up there. Bornhorst and Wiggins are kind of like, they'll be in the quarters, and then one of those two might bump to the semis. That's kind of their level.
Wow, you don't have Wiggins in the semis? Jeez, some smacks.
No, I said one of these two will be in the semis.
Yeah, but I have him directly in the semis. What is it, top 16 or top 20 go directly to the semis?
Top 16.
Okay.
Berton, he's 100%. It will be down to tires. So if Ogo works, he'll be there in the top 10 after qualifiers, make the main, and finish somewhere between 7th and 10th. Okay. But if Ogo doesn't work, it's going to be like the Euros where he's like, I think he even qualified in the quarters and then ended up at the bottom of the semis. Robert is a bit of a question mark. He has the pace to be in the final. Most likely will be on the brink of making it to the main. Cavallari.
Whoa, I forgot about
Cavallari is one that it's like really hard to say anything about, because it's like he could make it to the main, like Robert, like barely make it to the main, or he could just totally suck and be in the quarters.
I would not be surprised if Cav's in the top 5 either. Like, not
I wouldn't put it
just in position for a top 5.
Well, at Roar Nats, yeah, but you have to remember the list of drivers we just went by.
I agree. I'm just being hopeful. I'm a Cav fan.
Berkan, I think in a 60-minute main, he most likely will end up just where Borak is, but I don't think he will have the flashiness. Now, Van Dalen, kind of similar to Wiggins and Bornhorst. Same with Ogden. Figueredo, he's an interesting one because I don't see him winning in any world, but I do see him being in the top 5, if he has a perfect week, Savoya, I'd say Savoya and Robert are like 100% equally matched, like these two.
Savoya had a good Euros too.
Yeah. And so I think these two are like equally matched going into the Worlds. And it could be a thing that both of these are in the main. It could be that they finish like 7th and 8th or 6th and 7th or something. But it also could be that they just missed the main.
You get through every driver. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think these are the last ones. So Skidmore and Pariente are kind of question marks. They are kind of probably going to be in the semis, but could they?
I put Polito with that too. Polito,
Polito's in there.
And the other Baldo, the Brian.
Oscar, yeah.
Or is that Oscar?
Yeah. Lil Bump is also a question mark. I can't really do any predictions. He could be in the main, fighting for a top 5, or he could be just kind of struggling, bumping from the quarters. And then rest of the drivers are going to be in the quarters, I think. Heckert, Lime, Neumann, McBride, these guys.
We might see right, Max, is what I'm thinking is one of these fast Spanish guys come out swinging too, like a Navarro, or maybe one of the fast French guys that were really good at some of these races. Yeah. It's a lot.
Well, one guy
a conundrum to make a pick for these guys, right?
One guy I forgot from this list was Barufalo. It's really hard to make any picks, but he's gonna most likely be in the main. But is he gonna be like a real fighter in the top 5? Probably not. He doesn't have the consistency at this point. So that's my sort of going review of every single driver that has a chance. There's quite many here.
All right.
Quite many drivers.
How about like a long shot? Like,
I don't think. I think.
Okay.
I think.
Do you think we'll see somebody in the A final we didn't expect to be there? Like maybe one of these young American guys. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like a lot of these young guys, like Joey Bardon, who's going, all these type of guys who are going, the semi should be their goals. Like if you can make it to that semi, I think you're doing good. Is Hotman going to this race? Is Yuno going?
Yeah.
All right. He's not been doing a lot of 8 scale.
I think there really isn't many guys here Karab could be one who could make it to the semis.
Do you think any of these young guys will usurp somebody and become one of these finalists? Because we do have an LCQ where everybody has to race in, so they just have to make it to these semis. They do have a chance to bump up from the quarterfinals as well. So anything can happen. I guess a better question is how many North Americans did we have last year? 2022, we had Fenn, Mayfield, Ogden, Testament. So we had 4 in the last 22. Do we see more than 4 Americans in the final this year?
Let's see. I'm not sure. I think we see the same amount, honestly.
Really? No more?
I think they're going to be the same amount. I think they're just going to be different people.
The 2 Americans that stopped, 3 Americans that I think will make the final that probably didn't make it last year, if you see more, would be Lutz Rose, and Fuller. That would be the 3 guys I pick.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Fuller and Rose wasn't even close the last time.
That was
Rose is
2 years. A lot
definitely
changed for him in 2 years.
yeah. For Rose, lots changed for him, but for Fuller, I don't see him going in with that much of a better,
Any
judging from recent.
non-Europeans or non-USA drivers gonna come close to making it. What about those Japanese guys? Nato?
Nato,
You think Nato is good enough to do it?
he made it in 2018.
Did he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
He did
He
it in
hasn't done much
2018.
paint scale since then, though, Max.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. He didn't do any before then, so it's like.
Is he just one of them naturally talented, just good? I can drive anything, guys.
Yeah, he's one of those. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing him drive.
Yeah, I think Nato, because the thing is, we haven't seen him at any race, but it could be that he's been full this whole year. He could
He's been cooking.
Practicing in
He's
Japan.
been cooking,
Yeah, he's been
apparently.
cooking in Japan. So, like, it could be that, or it could be that he doesn't do well. Who knows? But last time at in Australia, I think he had a few top 10 rounds or top 5 rounds there. So it wasn't like he was barely scraping to the main. He was actually like fast that time. And he was,
Percentage that Ongaro 3-peats.
Probably like a 50.
50?
I'd say 60%.
I don't think it's over 50 because I think Canas goes in as like favorite. But I do think, judging from the Euros, like the tire advantage should be on Ongaro's side.
Yeah.
You have no faith in the J Concepts tires in Europe. None. Whatsoever.
Okay.
If they,
I'm basing
their
this
new. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm basing this on the fact that Canas was driving the last 5 minutes on basically foams on a 45-minute final.
Okay, so he
This
probably
is
needs to go up
60.
a harder compound next time.
That
Go ahead, Roach. What was you
Yeah,
gonna
but
say?
I mean,
Or at least supposedly that was the hardest compound they had.
Oh,
but
what was you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I don't know why my camera keeps doing that. What I was gonna say was, like, I could see the motivation for trying to prove himself. Like, hey, I'm still here, but I'm still top dog on Garo, even after the Euros, would be enough motivation for him to really lock in.
I would agree there. I would agree.
And when he locks in, I don't think anyone can really touch him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So it sounds like our picks is going to be very mixed. Let us know in the comments what you think about some of our storylines going into this. I will tell you this: who needs to have a good Worlds this year?
Who needs to have a good Worlds? Cavalieri.
Ronafalk.
I'd say,
as well.
yeah, Ronafalk and Cavalieri. I think Rivkin is okay because he's focused on 10 scale. Bros and Fuller, they don't really need it. They're good in America. That's their market. Berton, he's set with Infinity.
I have to agree there. I think Boots needs a good. I think Boots needs a good Worlds too.
No, I don't think he.
I think the reason
like,
why I think the reason why I didn't say Boots is that I think he's just going to have a good Worlds regardless.
Yeah, I
mean,
the thing
he
is,
may
like,
need it, but like, he's probably...
But listen. In a very stacked S-Works team right now, Boots needs to have a very good Worlds too.
Okay, let me put it this way: Boots cannot lose to the American S-Works drivers. So if he beats all American if he's the second or third best S-Works driver at this event, he's good. No matter where.
No, that's not, because Polito might beat him.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's the second best S-Works driver, he's good. And being the second best S-Works driver, he's most likely in the main, which is fine.
I would agree that Cavalieri needs to have a good Worlds. Ronafalk needs to have a good Worlds.
Yeah. If Ronafalk doesn't make the main, which is, to be honest, unlikely, but not completely impossible, I think his career...
It's not impossible.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if that what was imagined to be impossible would happen to him, his career is like hanging on by a thread in the eyes of, like, the industry. Because if let's say X-Ray, let's say X-Ray would give him the boot after next year, and he keeps this level. Who's gonna go to him and say, "Hey, we're gonna pay you like a lot of money to race for us," and instead they could get almost anyone like for much cheaper that could be his level.
I'll tell you who else needs to have a good run and probably make the final. Seth Van Dalen.
It's kind of a tough one because I think Seth gets given the benefit of the doubt that there's Figueredo, there's Pariente, there's Mayfield, and Wiggins. All these guys are running technical.
If he made the finals at the Worlds, it would help him out a lot. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think in the comments. Roach, what do you think about those assessments? You agree with them, or do you have something to add?
I honestly think that Cavalieri. Well, actually, on second thought, I think Cavalieri should be fine, regardless of how he does in the Worlds, because, like he said before, with Mason Fuller or the Fullers in general, their main market is America, and Cavalieri
has 10 scale to fall back on too.
He has 10 scale to fall back on, and he has, Sparko's focusing mostly on America right now.
I will tell you right now. If McBride's going and he's not in the semis, he's done.
Yeah, that's it for him. Yeah, no doubt. That's it for him.
And also would need to make a finals at this race, and I hate to say it, Robert.
I think Robert,
does he really need to?
The thing is, if he doesn't make the main, I think he's done as a driver. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because the thing is, he's made the Euros for how many years straight? Probably 14, 15 years straight.
Did he make this year?
He made the main.
Oh, he did, right? Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He didn't make the World's main last time with Mugen. So
that's right. So it isn't a big disaster. I don't think
it's not a disaster for anyone really.
But you know what people will say? Oh, at the Mugen, you used to always make the World's finals. You did so much better with the Mayako, you haven't. But they don't realize that he's come to that point in his career.
Yeah.
Where the results aren't what matters to an extent. But they do kind of matter. It's weird. It's a word.
Yeah, I think for Robert, he will most likely make the main. That would be my guess because he's still strong enough.
13 can make it. Only 13.
Yeah,
and we got a lot of really high talented drivers.
And we got a lot of. I think we're about to see probably the most competitive Worlds we've seen to date.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no doubt.
We're going to be watching quarterfinals and eights finals that are going to be like, Father, have mercy. That's how good it's going to be. I think the semis, the quarters are going to be epic. It's going to be a lot of racing. You can watch it all on RC Racing TV. Anything else you guys want to add before we go in to make our hot picks for the World Championship?
Well, brands. Who's going to be the most dominant brand?
I mean, honestly, all
S-Works.
Yeah, all arrows point to S-Works. They have the most drivers. Techno,
what about X-Ray?
Probably second. Huh?
X-Ray.
X-Ray will have Coelho, Ronafalk.
I can see one thing I could see happening with Techno, because I'm not sure about how they're already dominant in America, but I'm not sure how they are in Europe. I think
not
this
as
is
dominant as they are in America.
I could see if they do very well at the Worlds, a lot of that stigma of, hey, Technos aren't good on high grip tracks going away.
Could do.
Yeah.
Could do.
I think
Techno and S-Work have the most cars in the finals.
Yeah.
Really? You don't think so? Who from S-Works? Canas, Boots, and
Canas, Boots.
Those are the two mains. But...
Okay, so you have three S-Works. Yeah. So then we have from X-Ray, we have Ronafalk, Coelho, 2 Baldos.
Maybe Skidmore.
Yeah.
From Associated, we have Rivkin and
Ongaro. Yeah.
And from Techno, we have Pariente. We have Wiggins, we have Van Dalen, we have Mayfield. Figueredo.
Yeah.
TLR, we have Hater and Fan.
Yeah.
Poor TLR.
Mugen, we have 2 Kilich and Ogden.
Yeah, I mean,
I think X-Ray will
would not be
be.
surprised to see Cole Ogden in the final because he's another person that
I don't
shows up at these races.
He is, but I think X-Ray will have the most cars.
Okay,
But a
You
little
say
bit. Okay, I
S-Works?
have to say this.
you say S-Works Roach?
I say S-Works.
I'll say
Actually,
Techno.
no. I'll stick with S-Works because you said Techno.
Okay, so we're all on disagreement there. Max is X-Ray, which he's going to lose. Roach is S-Works, which he could win, and I'm Techno, which probably is going to win. So yeah, good stuff. What do you guys think in the chat? All right, let's get on to our hot race hot pickups. We said hot picks. We said our big shout out to Hot Race Tires for all their support. They're going into this race as one of their favorites. I know Nicola would love to win this. I'd love for him to win it as well. Check out Hot Race Tires for all their new rubbers. That came out wrong. For all their new rubber tires that they are producing. And hopefully we'll get to see them at some of these more American races as Max is writing on notes. All right, so we already kind of started our hot picks with the chassis companies. Let's
Should
go
we do tires too?
tires. What tires are going to have the most? J Concepts.
J Concepts, yeah.
J
That's
Concepts.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting it. Yeah, I don't
mean,
think.
look,
Okay.
they can have. So it's going to be between J Concepts. So let's look at it. We can have Mayfield, Fenn, Canas. If J Concept tires are working, you could bet your boots Rana fucking Coelho will be on them if they're on there. Who else are we looking at?
Stefan
Baldo Brothers,
Wiggins,
Fuller Rose. But let's look at Hot Race. We got Boots, potentially Coelho, potentially Rana Falk,
Robert Betty,
Robert.
Y'all Figueroa, Barufalo, Oriente.
Yeah. Hot Race has some guns too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between Hot Race and J Concepts, but it's more.
I think they have the
like
most pew pews in it. Pew pew.
Yeah, I
Pew
think,
pew.
I think it's going to be Hot Race, but just the sheer numbers point it being J Concepts.
You just don't want to give J Concepts no credit in Europe. Jesus.
No,
Yeah,
the thing is,
that last thread. Like Max is like, I'm gonna hold on to this thread, unravels completely.
I don't know. The thing is just that there's no
Come on.
reason to believe that they will be really fucking good.
This guy.
No, but what makes you believe that J Concepts will be?
I'm not
really
getting
good?
that argument. I think they're coming.
People who are on the track use J Concepts tires now.
Yeah, like they actually have people in
Baldo,
Europe using the
Baldo,
tires the time we're on.
They had.
I'm not saying they're going to be
last-
dominant. I'm just saying they're going to work.
In Europe last time they were around, Max. Nobody.
Well, Runnerfolk was driving for them for the longest time, but
Not in 2022.
not in 2022.
You know, if J Concepts wins, I'm gonna be like, I fucking told you so.
So are we gonna let's pick who has the most tires in the main? You two are going J Concepts.
Yeah, J Concepts.
J Concepts.
I'm gonna be the black sheep and go with hot race. It's a bit of a risky pick. I think J Concept is more likely, but just for the excitement, I'm gonna pick.
Okay.
All right.
Driver, who do you think's gonna win? Or are we doing top three?
Let's do the top three.
Okay. I'll go first. JC3, Mayfield, Ongaro.
Wow. Ongaro in the third.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go next, Roach? Or you want me to go?
I'm gonna go with probably Ongaro. Number 1. Canas 2, and Boots 3.
Wow, you're getting all Europe. The American is getting all Europe. You traitor.
I'm already a trader. I've always been a trader.
If Max has an American,
Maybe-
I will be shocked.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't see Mayfield or Penn beating Canas unless Canas has a technical.
I mean, I understand that thought of thinking. That thinking, I understand it.
But I also can't see Canas beating Ongaro unless Ongaro has some form of lack of pace, which I have never seen. So I'm actually, dude, I'm actually going for the three-peat. Ongaro. Then we have Canas in second. Now the third will be a tough one. It's between Coelho Boots and Mayfield for me. Coelho Boots or Mayfield.
So do you want to copy me, or do you want to?
What did you have?
I had Boots third.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ongaro JC3, and then I'm gonna go just for the Americans, make them proud. I'm gonna pick Mayfield on third.
Wow, nobody's picking Fend.
Dude, I just don't. Because the thing is with Fend, he does very well. This is gonna sound harsh, but he does very well where it doesn't matter as much.
That was pretty harsh, Roach.
It was very harsh.
That's pretty harsh.
But
that was
he's right. He's right.
Because wow,
I'm the only one going for Canas. Wow. All right. Who do you want to win?
I really want Lutz to win.
I would not be angry if Lutz won. I want Ronafog to win.
Really? Let's show the people the finishing order from 2022.
So we had David and Ongaro.
So yeah, Ongaro won with Ronafog second, Canas third. So all European top three.
Mm-hmm.
The most popular car, guess who it was? X-Ray.
X-Ray. I won, but yes.
Most popular tire, Hot Race. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And even Ronafog ran Hot Race, so there's actually 5. Engine-wise, it's quite split. So
it is.
I will also say, even though I don't see him doing as well, I could see him like coming in fourth. I want what's his name? Dakota Fend to do well.
You guys know who had the fastest.
I'm not gonna lie.
You guys know who was the fastest driver at the Worlds in 2022?
Let's see. It was Ronafog.
No, it was Dakota.
Oh, it was Fend. It was Fend. It was Fend.
Yeah.
I did not see him.
The thing is, he also
didn't he have some kind of technical difficulties?
He flamed out or something. I think he blew glow plug or something.
Flamed out, yeah.
So it's not like he's slow. It's just
2 years ago.
Okay, I see this very similar.
Gone. I think Ogden and Skidmore are gone. Tesman is obviously gone. But the rest, I can't see many.
Barufalo, I don't have Barufalo in the final. I'm sorry.
Really?
Not had the performances that he's wanted lately. No, anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Oscar Baldo will replace Skidmore, and Cole Ogden will be replaced by maybe Pariente or Robert or Lutz, someone like that. And I don't see Barufalo being replaced here. Tesman is going to be replaced by. I already said, so Lutz, Robert, and Oscar Baldo.
Okay.
Those are going to be the 3 who make the main instead of Ogden, Skidmore. And Tesman and the rest of these guys will be there.
Sweet.
Well, Berton is a question mark too because of the tires.
It's going to be interesting, guys. Very interesting. It's going to be a lot to see how they adapt to the track. There's 180s, that C dog leg, I don't know what we're going to call it, corner that we have. The surface
I like
temperatures. I was looking at the temperatures. It's not good. It's I think 95 is the hottest.
It's not that hot.
It's supposed to rain.
Yeah,
really.
Imagine if lower finals, it rains, track gets completely like washed away. So it's like kind of first practice day. Finals day would be like the track same first practice day.
Wouldn't even matter.
All set up out the window.
Everything we just
Parking.
learned, everything we just
Yeah.
said is out the window.
I personally just so here's something I'm going to explain to people. If you've never been to a world championship, 1/8 scale Nitro World Championship, Danny passes good, and I was like, Danny, we did 12 scale worlds. It was nice, but this is bigger. This is way bigger, dude. And I was like, when I described it as this, when I was at the Worlds in 2022, and I looked out and saw everybody in the beer garden, and I saw all the people watching and everybody milling around, getting ready for the race to start, and after the race, at that point, I felt that I was at a full scale event, and that was the utmost professionalism I've seen at an RC event. Like where we could have sold that to spectators. Had we had would have needed an announcer. That's the only thing. And until you go and experience that, and then you get to see real fucking speed, right, Roach? Okay, we've seen guys go fast at these American races because you're seeing a lot of these top guys, right? But once the American guys and the European guys get together and those race egos start clashing, every time those guys hit the track, you can bet your boots people are watching, they're watching, and they want to beat each other. They want to beat each other out on fucking warm-up laps.
Yeah.
And then you see a level just go up each day, each run to the point where that just like, how much faster these? Oh, he just went fucking faster. I can't believe it. You know, when you think these guys are went as fast as they can go, they go faster. And that's what happens when you have things like this and you have Europeans, the best in Europe, the best around the world, the best in America, come together and push each other on a very challenging track. That is Red Avon. And I look forward to that, feeling that, and the competition level that's going to be there. We'll be there, the NNRC. We got written content, interviews, laps, all that good stuff planned for you guys. We can't wait. Max is going to be busy. I'm going to be busy. Roach is going to be there hanging out with us.
Sitting on my bed, watching
online.
Watching it on that TV right over there.
That's right. I believe that the live stream starts Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure. We look forward. I'll be commentating as well with RC Racing TV. Let us know who you think is going to be your top 3 in the comments below. Please let those comments rain on YouTube. We hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We are taking the podcast equipment. JQ said maybe we could do a live show. Maybe if he has an Airbnb, it's big enough and it has good internet. Yes, maybe we'll get over there one night and have a few drinks, and maybe you guys will see me kill Jake. Maybe you see me JQ on live or really hurt him bad, you know, smack him with my left arm.
You know what I like the most about is evidence.
There we go. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have fun. We're staying with Salty Joe. Max and Salty Joe are probably gonna me because of my snoring, but that's all right. And our beds are gonna be very close to each other. This is Europe, dude. We may have 2 feet in between each other's beds. Because a lot of people question why Pekka and JQ look like they were in the same bed and they're live the other day. I was trying to say, man, in Europe, they have them small, tiny beds that are close to each other. Max, you look like you're looking at something. You look like you want to say something before we close up here.
Dude, I have to say, I haven't been this excited for a world in a while.
You don't look excited.
I was even supposed to go last time, you know?
Well, thank you to Atara Racing for making it possible for you to come. Thank you to Kim.
Yeah, thank you.
Kim and Martin. We greatly appreciate it. Roach, thank you for joining us. What's next for you?
Something that doesn't involve making people upset, at least this time.
You know, that's Roach out there pissing off the nation. Pissing off the nation with Max. Both the same age. Pisser offs of many people. Hey, Max, I will see you Saturday. Hopefully nothing happens. You might have to Uber to the hotel from Alicante to Murcia. We're going to have fun. I'm looking forward to Spanish coffee, tarts, cheese, and Spanish food. Paella.
I need some food in my life, bro. I smell it downstairs.
Max, what are you most excited for before we hang up, before we go?
I think I'm most excited for seeing some of the American drivers actually prove me wrong. So, like,
I'm about 80% sure that Fenn, if he even listens to this, which I think he does. He will just listen to me and say, you know what, I'm going to do well to spike.
I'll tell you what,
the thing, I would be like,
turn it up.
You know, the coolest thing for me would be for Fuller to turn up in seeding and like have a round where it's top 5. You know,
I would love
that would be for me. Yeah, like that would be the coolest thing. Same for like any of these. You know,
if Fuller won this, I wouldn't shut the fuck up for a year, 2 years.
Yeah,
you know,
no, but like any of these
until the next Worlds,
because like to me, recently RC has been kind of this. Oh, it's gonna be Mayfield or Fenn.
Yes.
If you're in America,
That's
or
why I
then
was
in Europe, it's gonna be Canas or Rongaro. You know,
I want somebody different. I want to see a fucking dogfight. I want to see a 5-way battle for first to the end.
Not even that, but I'd like to see someone completely new, like reinvent themselves. Kind of like, you know, some of these guys have, like Cody King in 2010. You know, he was nowhere before.
Yeah.
He went there, won the damn thing. You know,
I agree.
And then, like, I want to see
some
something like
drama
that.
too. I like to see some drama. Maybe a little bit of drama. Little sprinkle, little pixie dust of drama. We're gonna protest his car and all that type of stuff. I like to see some of that. Let's make this an exciting world. I'm all for that. You know what? I am excited to. I haven't seen you since 2019. I am excited to hang out with Salty Joe, see you, hang out with my friends, all that stuff. We're gonna witness. I have a feeling we're gonna witness something cool, and we're gonna be there, front and center. And I can't wait. Bring on the Worlds. Let's go. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm ready.
I'll be watching from the sidelines in America.
That you will be. We'll be contacting you. Hey, anything to say before we close up?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
See you. Make sure to follow the YouTube. Make sure to follow, if you aren't following the NNRC on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and YouTube, make sure, because that's where all the content's going to be. Lots of short reels and stuff on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and then the longer version stuff will be on YouTube. Don't forget to that sub, like, notification button. Leave a comment on this podcast. Don't forget to go over to Roach RC and check out some of his very cool videos. And don't forget to smash that like, sub, notification button for our fellow friend, Roach RC. And hey, thank you guys for joining me for this chat about the Worlds. You guys look about as excited as I feel, but then, you know, I have a Finnish guy and I have Roach, a man who loves Madagascar roaches. I can't expect the utmost excitement from them. Maybe if I had some Madagascar roaches here, Roach would perk right up.
Maybe. You could definitely try. You could definitely try.
This guy. I'm surprised you don't have him as pets. Max, I'll see you Saturday. Roach, we'll be in contact. We hope you guys enjoy. We hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Watch the Worlds, everybody. RC Racing TV. It's the biggest event that we have at HCR Racing. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait. Nitro is the glory. E-Buggy's not paying no damn bills next week.
You need to watch our stuff too. You know, not only
you need to watch our stuff.
Yeah,
I said that. NNRC. We'll probably do some after hours live. Who knows? We might just go Instagram live at one night while we're out or doing something.
I might go on. Hey, let's do Instagram lunches. You know,
we're doing a midday show, so we can.
Oh yeah, we already do that. Okay, yeah.
All right, everybody, we love you. Thank you for all the support. We greatly appreciate it. We can't do it without you guys. Nitro's glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. We ain't done yet because we got to say thank you to our sponsors. They are Visible Speed, High Tech RC, Corsa Tech USA, Sidewinder Fuel, My Aqua, Beach RC, Techno RC, Clinic RC, Stacked RC, Racecraft USA, Elite RC Productions, Call RC. A big shout out to RC Box Club, Florida RC Championships, RC Body Armor. I saw that Florida RC Championships had the Tallahassee run this past weekend. 36 Minutes. Shout out to our drivers, David Ronnefalk, Robert Battier, Alexander Hagberg, Matty G, Pecco Ivanen, Hunt, Mason and Fuller. Be good to see all those guys. Roach, you have a good one. Thank you to all the NNRC squad around the world. Thank you to the patrons and YouTube members. You guys get early access of this podcast. Nitro's glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. Lefty, Max, Roach. We're out. We'll see you next week at the Worlds. We can't wait. Let's get ready to race and let's get ready to rumble in Redavon. Bye-bye. Ta-ta for now, everybody.